Hi friends, happy August. I feel like we're in the thick of planner season with Hobonichi doing their previews in August for their launch in September. So naturally, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do in 2026. So I figured I would just sit and chat today about my thoughts. I want to talk about my experience for the past 2 years in Hobonichi and then maybe some changes that I'm going to make for next year. Let's jump right in. Okay, so to start, I want to show you my last 2 years in Hobonichi. I did an A6 both times, but my first year I did the Hobonichi Han, which just has a thicker cover than the classic, which is what I have in this dragon over here. And I ordered both of these straight from the Hobonichi website. Honestly, these feel like home at this point. I feel like the A6 size is perfect for me. It's not too intimidating like the cousin, and I'm able to memory keep every day in this size. I feel like it's perfect for the amount of writing I want to do, and it still gives me space to add photos and ephemera and stuff like that. Last year, we did a group buy, and if you were there on launch day, you remember how crazy it was. Stuff was selling out instantly. It was crazy. And there was just so much hype around everything coming out. So, in hindsight, I don't think we needed to rush on that day. I feel like things came back into stock the day after. So, we didn't need to rush. But I think we did a good job because we were able to do a group buy with over $300. And at that point, they were doing free shipping to the US if you had over $300 worth of stuff. So I pulled together with some friends in the Twitch community and we made a big order. And then I shipped some stuff out to some people. And it worked out really well. We saved a bunch of money on shipping, and that was really nice. However, that is no longer a thing that Hobonichi is doing this year. So that's kind of playing a part into me considering changing it up for 2026. But yeah, I really like these. I would be kind of sad to move away from it. Hobonichi is just so well done. The paper quality, we all love it for its Tomo River paper. The grid size for me in particular is very important. As you can see, my writing is pretty small, especially when I'm using my Pilot Extra Fine. It's super small. And so I really appreciate that the grid is tiny and allows me to fit a bunch on the page. I like that these are dated. It keeps me accountable to memory keeping every day. I was pretty much on the ball every day for the last 2 years. And I'm really happy that I'm able to have these as a record for my 2024 and 2025. The paper is fountain pen friendly, which is what I use to write all my entries. And it's just very reliable. The quality control is very good. You just know what you're getting on a year to year basis. I don't love the quotes at the bottom, especially because most of the time they're not really saying much. So I could have used extra space on the page instead of having the quotes, but that's kind of my only thing about the design of this. I really like the grid is light and doesn't intrude on my writing, just supports it. And then in my second year with Hobonichi 2025, so far it's been great. I feel like I've really settled in to my journaling this year, and I've been having more fun with my layouts and just adding imagery and ephemera and stickers and stuff like that. I feel like I'm doing a better job of it, and also including some art in between. So I'm really happy with how it's going so far. I love this dragon cover. I got it last time I was in Japan. I love that it adds some storage for stuff that I want to carry around with me. I love that I can keep my pen handy. I can clip some stuff in the front here. It's just a really nice cover. And the thing is, even if I end up switching journals, as long as I stay in the A6 size, I can use this cover again. So I'm not too fussed about staying in Hobonichi this year, but at the same time, I'm not sure there are better options. That's kind of what's going through my head about Hobonichi right now. I am going to be in New York in September while Yoseka is hosting a Hobonichi preview. So I definitely want to make it out to that, and I'm sure we'll make a video about it. So stay tuned for that. I just want to see what's kind of going on. I know they're doing their previews right now, but there's something about holding them in person and kind of flipping through them and trying to see what fits into your life that I'm intrigued about. At the end of the day, I am looking to continue my memory keeping hobby in 2026. So I am looking for something that is as flexible as the Hobonichi system has been for me. Flexible, but also inflexible with the dating being my main accountability partner. I want something very similar, but I'm open to other brands. So we'll see. Let's hop into the preview really quick and see what Hobonichi has got for us so far, and I'll share my thoughts on the current designs. Okay, so let's check out the Hobonichi previews. I'm checking this out on the night of August 21st. So in Japan, it's August 22nd, which means that the full lineup has been revealed, which is very exciting. So let's just see what they've got for us. So here's a bunch about Hobonichi if you don't know already, but this guy is honestly a main event for me. Every year they give a Jetstream pen, which I really like. And this year their special gift is this tiny robot, like little paperweight. It's so cute. And you get it if you buy a planner. I believe they have, yeah, down here, it'll show you what you need to buy in order to get those things. So if I were to get an original book, I would get both of them, which is awesome. He's just so cute. It says "You Love You" on the front, and he has a little backpack on that has a little heart on it, and the Hobonichi on the bottom. Ah, so this is definitely tempting. Okay, let's move on to the artist covers. The color ones, I feel like they're minimal. If you want to put a cool cover on it, that might be the move. Yeah, they're cute. I like this one. This is cute color combo. This one too. Honestly, they're cute. This one is Moomin. I'm not the biggest Moomin fan, so this doesn't really speak to me, but I think it's cute. If it were Snoopy or Peanuts or something, that would be a totally different story. But if you like Moomin, cute. I'm looking for a really cute like pencil board. If I'm gonna order from Hobonichi, I need to get a pencil board. And I think honestly, the Moomin pencil board is pretty cute. So that might be the one if I don't find one that I like better. I love this color too. Yeah, super cute. Moving on, we have Mina Perhonen. These are cute. They're like quilted. I feel like the textures will be really nice. I'm excited to go to Yoseka in September and actually feel these. And each of these are a different part of the same fabric, if that makes sense. So each of the books is a bit different, which I think is really cool. Yeah, but not super my jam. I don't really like the zipper idea. I do appreciate that it keeps your stuff kind of all secure, but I feel like it would get in the way of my writing. So not for me. One Piece, also not for me. Not a big One Piece fan. I have never got into it, but I do appreciate the designs. I do like the character illustrations in the back and just like these little snippets throughout. I think it's super cool. If it were a different anime that I have seen, maybe a different story, but I think it's a pretty cool collab. They should do more of these. Okay, moving on. This is Kyuhei Sakaguchi who's doing this pastel art, which I think is really cool actually, especially the weeks here. I think those colors are super nice. Oh, product designer on the Techo team. That's so cool. Just shows like their inspiration and their process. I think it's really nice. There's so much like behind the scenes that goes into creating a cover that honestly looks fairly simple, but so much work goes into it. Look at that. Those colors are so nice. This might be my year to get a weeks. So if so, this might be up there. It's very nice. I like the colors a lot. Honestly, of all the collections, this one speaks to me a little bit, especially having a Tamagotchi growing up. So cute. I wonder if they have a pencil board. It's just very whimsical. This is super cute. I love the stamps. I think it would add so much to my spreads. This week's is cute. Oh, this is a pencil board. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I don't mind a bold pencil board. So, here we go. Okay. Okay. They're all right. The Moomin one honestly might still be ahead for me, just based on aesthetic. Okay, and then we have the Mother series, which honestly I have no connection to. I have not played the Earthbound games. And so, yeah, I have no connection to the characters. So, yeah. I mean, I like the colors. It's cute. Black and white. Oh, cool. And then we have apparel collections. This stands out to me right away for sure. I like that color a lot. This week's is really cute. Yeah, don't really care for that one. This I think is really cool. I think the back, yeah, the back has this like lighter pink going on, which is fun. Yeah, I just like that color, but I feel like this would be pretty plasticky. Probably will not take over the place of my Trigon. And then we have Yumi Kitagishi, who did this kind of cat drawing. They're pretty whimsical. I like the little details on the inside. It's like a little quilt. Oh, that's cute. I always wanted to do something more interesting with my months. Oh, wait, that's on the bookmark. That's so cute. Yeah, it's cute, but not really screaming to me either. Okay, we have 100% Orange, who is a squirrel squadron. Mm. Oh, this is kind of cute. It's kind of whimsy, kind of derpy. Okay, so they're folders and more folders. They don't have that many pencil boards, I feel like. And then we have Suki Noiro, which I guess is not a cover, but just a bunch of stationery. Ooh, I love these pens. The Uniballs. 12 months, 12 colors. Hobonichi Tetra uses 12 soft colors across the book. Suki no Iro Stationery series incorporates these colors into simple designs. I love the simplicity of just Japanese design in general. I appreciate it so much. Oh, that's really cool. I could see it looking real good. Oh, wow. Okay. I like the pens. I like the pens. That's very cute. Okay. 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 Ooh. Ooh, the sets. Bold, vibrant colors. I love the Univo ones. Tempting. Tempting. Got some stickers. Okay, this is cute. If I do end up ordering, I might be adding some of these in there. Ooh, so cute. Oh, some people match their fountain pen inks to the colors of the Hobonichi, which is so extra, but very cool. And then we have Junji Ito, who is an artist. We're featuring this Tomi character. I could be saying all of these things wrong. Which I understand is a horror manga series. Really cool art, honestly, but I have no connection to this character either, or horror content in general. That is something. That is wow. Like, how do you come up with this? Almost gives me chills. Are there pencil boards? It would be cool to have like a black and white. Okay, that's pretty cool. It almost looks textured. Oh, pencil board. There is a pencil board. Oh, wait, that's kind of cool. Okay, I like that color. I might just kind of look into her character and see how creepy she actually is. Something to do with hair. Okay, and then we have a series of new designs for the drawer pouch. Okay, so it's kind of the color covers, but for these pouches. Wow, okay, I love storage, so that's fun. Okay, okay. Wow, it could hold so much stuff. These are cute. Horses. Oh, little ice cream design. Ooh, clear. I like a clear. I like an amber. Yeah, that's nice. Blue. Ooh, that's fun too. And then we have this last one by Io Okumi, A Whimsical and Romantic World by embroidery artist Io Okumi. Ooh, a gift edition. Oh, that's really nice. Wait, oh my god, it's embroidered? Wow, that's crazy. Okay, that's really nice. You would definitely have to put a cover on cover on this because it's white. Okay, so that is, I think, the full lineup. They have some events going on, which includes the one at Yosaka that I'll be going to in New York. And then I guess they're doing just their full launch. So everything's here and we can look at all of the prices now. So that's kind of fun. Oh my gosh, the Tragan colors. I love this oak moss color down here, this kind of sagey green and this mustard. Ugh, so nice. This is the one I have right now, which honestly works great. So, mm, I might grab one of these if I'm in Japan and I can get the Japanese price. Ah, okay. I believe things are a little more expensive though, or is this the price to America? I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to find out when stuff actually comes on sale, how much it is, and how much shipping is on top of everything. That's the lineup. Yeah, so there's some pretty cool stuff. There's not anything that I must have. So I think for 2026, I am fairly open to trying something new. I want to talk now a bit about some of the alternatives that I've been looking into and my thoughts on those. So we'll just do a little journal with me while I chat through my thoughts for 2026. Oh yeah, here are the pencil boards that I have been using all year and I love both of them. This is just so great. And then this is the original that I got with my Han, and I just love how simple it is and they're just so handy. We'll see if I end up making an order this year. I just feel like everything is so complicated with tariffs and everything happening, so that's why I wanted to talk about it with you guys. And I want to hear from you guys what you're thinking also about 2026 because it just feels like there's so much going on. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Well, let's start with the whole tariff thing. So, this is all really confusing, and if I get it wrong, please correct me. But the way I understand it is that on August 29th, the de minimis exemption that allowed people to import under $800 worth of goods duty free is ending, which means that beyond that date, we will be paying duty for stuff that we bring into the country. I believe that if you're importing via postal service, that currently there's a flat fee, I think starting at $80. I believe this is temporary and they're using it as a way to just kind of figure things out, and that by February next year they'll have things figured out, so it'll be a percentage of the value of your goods, which is insane. But if you are shipping via a courier like FedEx, they have already figured this stuff out. And so if you are getting something delivered by courier, you pay the percentage duty already. So this is obviously interesting because we are in planner season. Planner companies like Hobonichi are launching after August 29th. And so that means if we want to order directly from Hobonichi, then we will need to kind of figure out what fees we will be subject to. To my understanding, Hobonichi ships via FedEx, and it depends on where your item is manufactured, not where it's shipped from. So, I believe that Hobonichi has products that are made in China, which will also affect how much tariff you will pay on your order. So, because Hobonichi uses FedEx, we should be paying a percentage of the things we order. I think the percentage for Japanese goods is 15%. And then I think that FedEx will also be charging basically like a service fee to do all of this math for us. So that is expected to be something. And then this is all on top of obviously the regular shipping fee to actually mail the goods. Last year, when we did the Hobonichi group buy, we were able to get $300 worth of stuff so that we qualified for free shipping. However, they're doing away with that this year, so shipping is no longer free. So it depends on the number of items and what you are ordering. So at this point, it's just really confusing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be ordering directly from Hobonichi this year. Because we are going to the Yoseka Hobonichi event in September, I'll be able to potentially purchase my planner there. Of course, Yoseka and other carriers are also going to be paying these import fees, so it's possible that the prices of these items are affected by that. And usually they're already marked up quite a bit. So at this point, I think my plan is to wait patiently until I go to the Yoseka stationery event in September. I will evaluate pricing between Yoseka and ordering directly from Hobonichi and then make a decision. If it makes sense, then I'll do another group buy like last year and we'll just split the shipping if that maths. If anything, I don't want to rush into things. At the end of the day, it is a planner, and all I really need to do my planning is paper. Obviously, I like Hobonichi quality for what it is, but if I can't get it, it's not the end of the world. Some journal friends and I have a group chat that I've affectionately named Hobo Defectors Club. This was before we saw the Hobonichi preview and we had less information than we do today. So maybe we won't defect, I don't know. But the point was to look into other options. And so I want to talk about a bit of the research that I've done, potentially other journals that I'm considering, but also keeping in mind that a lot of these options are Japanese as well. So I might have the same issues with these. I don't know. Anyway, the main one that our group is looking at so far is called Kinbor. I believe it's actually a Chinese brand and people call it a Hobonichi dupe. A lot of the designs and the form factors are the same. I like it because the grid size is the same, I believe, as Hobonichi. The paper is apparently fountain pen friendly, although I hear that if we're looking for a week's size, then it is thicker paper and not the same as the dated planners, which I believe are also different than the undated planners. It's confusing. I was watching a bunch of videos about the kinbor, and I'm also in a Facebook group for the kinbor and just kind of keeping my pulse on things. But so far, it sounds like the planner pricing is going up a lot as well, maybe because of the popularity. But at this point, I think it is known as a cheap Hobonichi alternative. So maybe it's become more popular and now is pricier as a result. In some of the videos I watched, I did notice that the quality of kinbor isn't as consistent as Hobonichi, the quality control of it, I guess. So it is a bit of a risk to order from kinbor. And if you want kind of peace of mind that your planner will be great quality, then maybe kinbor is not the brand for you. At this point, I'm keeping an eye on the pricing of kinbor. I have been curious about trying the week's size. I haven't tried a week's before, so I might, if the pricing makes sense, try a kinbor for the week's layout, and then at the same time, I'll be able to see if I like kinbor or not. And worst case, if I don't end up liking it, then I can kind of ditch that experiment. Another planner that I was looking at is called the Kokuyo Jibun Techo Days Mini, if I'm saying that correctly. I do like Kokuyo as a brand of paper. I actually use the Kokuyo business paper to print on sometimes. I like it because it's fountain pen friendly and it's pretty thin in terms of standard printer paper. I believe the grid size of the Kokuyo is actually smaller than the Hobonichi, which I don't mind since my writing is tiny, but I don't like that the grid is so dark. I just feel like it would really get in the way of my writing and make everything look a lot messier. So for this reason, I don't think I will be going with Kokuyo. The next one that I considered is called the Stalogy 365 Days A6. I actually thought this one was super promising when I first saw it. I really like how minimal it is. The grid takes up the full page. The main thing is that it's not dated. So how they do it is at the top of the page, you see all of the months, the days of the week, and then numbers for the days. And then on each page, you would like highlight or circle the correct date, which I feel like I can get past. I really did like the dated planner for accountability, but I think if everything else was perfect on the stalogy, I would actually consider using it. The other thing, though, is that the grid size is 5 millimeters. And I just think it doesn't sound that much bigger, but it is. It really makes a big difference. So, for that reason, I'm out. The next one on my list was the Midori One Day, One Page. I was really expecting to be more blown away by this one. I don't know why. I just think Midori is such a recognizable brand. And so, I don't know. I was expecting it to be more ideal. But I actually don't like the layout at all for memory keeping. It didn't feel right to me to have this time section and to just kind of write over it and ignore it, even though I do that on my Hobonichi. It's just not really gridded like ideally, and so
I don't know. I feel like the stalogy is much more ideal than this one for me. So this was pretty much immediately out. The last brand that I looked at was Nolty, and they come in so many sizes and form factors and for different use cases. And I couldn't find a layout that I liked for daily memory keeping. It seemed like the paper is good. It's a little bit thicker than Tomer River paper, but it is fountain pen friendly to my knowledge. Maybe my use case is very particular. I don't know. I don't think it's that crazy, but I want something for daily memory keeping, and I just couldn't find an ideal book from Nolty. So, yeah, out of these options, I feel like the Stalogy was actually quite close, but it's just not the same as Hobonichi. And so, maybe we're not going to be the Hobo Defectors Club. I don't know. I'm still open to trying the kinbor if I can find it for a cheap price, even if just to experiment. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not fully decided, but I think in the next couple weeks we'll learn a lot more about what Hobonichi pricing is going to be this year. There's a lot of chatter all over the internet about it, so I'm going to read more and stay up to date on the news. But again, I would love to hear how you're thinking about all this. Are there specific brands that you're looking at? Because I definitely didn't do a full exhaustive deep dive into all of this, and I'm sure I'm missing so many awesome brands. So please let me know. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to my thoughts about the 2026 planner season. At the end of the day, I feel like we can't really go wrong. There are so many good options, but also, worst case, we learn something new about ourselves. Like if there's something that we don't like at all, then we know we don't like it. And maybe we'll find something new that we actually really like. So I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What are you thinking about for 2026? There's just so much. So tell me what you're thinking. And stay tuned because our shop launch is in October. So these stickers that I used, among other things, will be available at that time. We're very excited to get some of this stuff into your hands. And so, yeah, stay tuned for that. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as usual. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.